Our affirmation today, I am joyful, I am happy. Today, I wanted to talk about the life of Jesus Christ. Of course, that's why a lot of us here are here on Sunday, and we know, most of us, I think by this time, we understand the tenets of the Easter holiday when Christ rose. But I wanted today focus a little bit more on some of the day-to-day happenings that occurred with Christ, especially as he was on his way to the crucifixion. We read in the scriptures, of course, that Christ, he was a healer, an instantaneous healer, that he could walk on water, that on numerous occasions he took a couple loaves of bread and a couple fish and fed thousands of people. And we know that he was able to do things, turn water into wine. I don't think anybody is disputing these incredible miracles that Christ performed. And in all these instances, Christ was, as a man, performing these with the power of God through him. It was because of his faith. He had so much faith in what he could do with God. And the reality is that you and I have that exact same potential. You and I could theoretically walk out and heal somebody instantaneously. We could turn water into wine. We could go walking across the bay. There's so much we could do. It all comes from within, and our faith in God and our faith in the fact that God wants us all to live lives of great happiness, great health, and great prosperity. So as you're walking through the week, we also have our weekly question. So as you're going through your chores and your events of the week, stop and ask yourself, what do I doubt? Because it is the doubt. It's the things inside of us that we doubt or that we fear or we aren't doing that's blocking that connection with that faith in God, so that everything does take place, so that we do lead these dynamic lives of great happiness and great health and great prosperity. And for a lot of us, maybe we haven't come to New Thought teaching early in life, so we have a lot of more conservative views. And so it doesn't occur to us that, yes, you can do all of those things. And so those of us that are fortunate enough, we come into a New Thought church and we become students, and we devote a lot of our time and our lives and our spirituality to learning how to overcome these challenges of being a human being and have this faith, have this same faith that Christ had, so that we can live lives of great happiness and health and prosperity. We can read in the book of Matthew, Jesus, when he was on his way, he had come across a child who was very ill, and he had assigned his disciples to heal the child. And they had success. We can read in the scriptures that some of the disciples had success healing just as Christ did. But this one particular child couldn't be healed. And then, of course, Christ came, and this is in Matthew 17. He rebuked the demon, and it came out, and the child was cured from that very hour. And later the disciples went to him and said, "Tell us why it is that you were able to do this and we weren't." And Jesus told them, "Because of your unbelief. For assuredly, I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will see to this mountain and move it from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you." So basically, what he's saying is, because you guys didn't have the same amount of faith that I did, I know that I can touch a body in need or in distress, and I have so much faith in the power of God going through me that it's going to be healed like that. You walking around, you don't have that faith, and so that's why you weren't able to do that. And this plagues a lot of us in our daily lives. When we open our checkbook and it seems like there's not enough there, we need to know, we need to have faith. We need to have faith in that prospering power of God. When we go to the doctor and we get a diagnosis that isn't very favorable for us, we need to know and have faith in that power and that connection with God, that can be overturned, that we can have this self-healing. When we go and we interact with family and we have challenges in our relationships, we need to know that we have faith in God, that our faith in God is going to let that turn around so that we can have happy, comfortable, loving relationships with our families and our friends and our neighbors and our coworkers. So in all of this, as we are going through our daily lives, we need to often stop and recheck and say, where is my faith? What am I doubting about myself? How can I have that connection with that faith power from God so that I am living a life of absolute happiness and health and prosperity? So what do I doubt? And whatever that doubt is, the only thing that's keeping you from constantly being able to recite our affirmation, I am joyful, I am happy. In all things, every day, in every way, we want to be able to say, I am joyful, I am happy, I am joyful, I am happy. Because if we read in the scriptures and we read the works of Christ, we know that's what was intended for us. We weren't meant to live lives of lack or limit or suffering. That's not what we're here for, and that's not what Christ had intended for us. So in all things, I am joyful, I am happy. I am joyful, I am happy. I am joyful, I am happy. And when you wake up one day and you don't feel that, then stop and ask yourself the question, what do I doubt? What is keeping me from that faith connection to God so that I know that that joy and that happiness is mine and it's going to be a part of my everyday life? And the good news is, because we are the good news church, just as Christ would often say in the scriptures when he spoke, the good news. The good news is that we know that we can all achieve great things. As New Thought students, every day, in every way, we can grow more and more aware of the power within us, achieving this Christ-like faith. Because as we read in the scriptures, these feats that Christ performed were all based on faith. He knew, he never doubted when he reached into the basket with 2 fish that he was going to produce 4,000 fish. He never had a doubt, and so there was never any question that it was going to happen. We, unfortunately, as I said, we live the human condition. We've heard things from our youth that are negative and limiting, and those things, if we can eradicate them from our mind, then we know that we can have just as much faith. We can reach into our wallet and have a constant flow of wealth and prosperity, and we can go for our annual medical exams and come with shining, wonderful, glowing reviews. And we can go into the worst family situation, holiday dinners, or the worst situation with an employer who just drives you mad, or you can be in any of those, because in a lot of life, it's our relationships with people in the world around us that can be so frustrating. But we know that we can reach into ourselves and be that best person possible so that there's nothing but harmony and joy. So all of that is possible because we have this Christ-like faith. So remember, I am joyful, I am happy. And the good news is that you can be, and you will be. Adhere to these New Thought principles, and every day in every way, you will be joyful and you will be happy.